My name's Ivan, and this story starts when I was just 8 years old. I wasn't like most kids. I didn't spend my birthday money on toys or candy. I saved every dollar, every coin I got from birthdays, mowing lawns, or helping our elderly neighbor, Mrs. Coper, carry her groceries. I had a little metal lockbox under my bed where I stashed it all. My goal, a car someday. I wanted to be the first kid in my family to buy his own. My younger sister, Bella, was nothing like me. She was loud, spoiled, and always got what she wanted by whining until Mom or Dad gave in. She was 4 years younger than me, but acted like she ruled the house. Still, I never thought she'd do what she did. By the time I turned 15, I had saved over $2,300. I counted it every month like a ritual, but then, one day the box was empty. At first I thought I was losing my mind. I tore my room apart, under the bed, behind the dresser, even in the air vent. But the box was there, just empty. My heart was pounding. I couldn't breathe. That money was years of work, patience, and dreams. I ran to my parents in a panic, hoping they'd take it seriously. "Someone stole my money," I said, almost in tears. My dad barely looked up from his laptop. "Are you sure you didn't just misplace it? I kept it in my lockbox, under my bed. It's gone." That's when Bella walked into the room with the biggest smile on her face, and in her hand was a brand new iPhone, the latest one. Shiny, still with the plastic on the screen. I felt like I was going to throw up. "Where did you get that?" I asked, my voice shaking. She just smirked. "I bought it." "With what money?" She didn't answer, but I knew. I turned to Mom and Dad, waiting for them to react, to say something, to get angry. But instead, Mom smiled like Bella had just won a spelling bee. "She's been wanting that phone for so long," Mom said, touching Bella's hair. "Isn't it nice she finally has it?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "You're not serious. She stole my money." "That's my savings from the last 7 years. Dad sighed like I was the one being dramatic. "It's just money. Evan, you'll make more. Your sister needed a phone." "Needed?" I shouted. "She has a tablet, a laptop, and she's 10. Bella looked at me smugly. Should have hidden it better, that was it. No apology, no guilt, no punishment. They acted like I was the problem for making a scene. I stormed off to my room, slamming the door behind me. I stared at the empty box for what felt like hours. Something inside me changed that day. Something cracked. The next few days were torture. Bella paraded that phone around the house like it was a trophy. She blasted music, took selfies non-stop, and kept bragging to her friends on FaceTime about how Daddy got her the newest iPhone. She never even mentioned me, not once. And my parents, they didn't care. They acted like nothing had happened. I think part of them believed I shouldn't have been saving that much money, like it made me weird or too serious for my age, like I deserved to have it taken, but I couldn't let it go. Every time I saw her scrolling on my stolen dreams, my blood boiled. One night I heard her leave her phone charging in the kitchen. Everyone was asleep. I stood there in the dark, staring at it. My chest felt tight. That phone wasn't just plastic and glass. It was everything I'd worked for, every lawn I mowed, every toy I didn't buy. Every moment I was responsible while she got to be careless. And right then, something inside me said, "Make it fair." I didn't think, I just acted. I grabbed the phone off the counter, slipped outside, and walked straight to the driveway. The night air was cold, but my hands were burning. My heart pounded so hard, I could barely hear anything else. I looked at the phone, one last time. Bright screen. Wallpaper of Bella making a duck face. I wanted to scream. Instead, I raised my arm and slammed it to the ground. The screen cracked instantly. I stomped on it over and over, until it was nothing but glass shards and twisted metal. It was gone, just like my money. For the first time in days, I felt calm. I left the broken mess on the front step and went back to bed. The next morning, all hell broke loose. Bella screamed like someone had died. My phone, Mum, Dad, Evan broke my phone. They came running. She pointed straight at me. And you know what they did? They grounded me. I stood there, arms crossed, waiting for at least some sign of fairness. But no, Dad was already yelling, "What the hell is wrong with you? Evan, that was a $1,200 phone." I laughed bitterly. Yeah, my $1,200. Mom stepped in, furious. You destroyed your sister's property. Do you know how irresponsible and immature that is? I couldn't believe this. Irresponsible, she stole from me, and you did nothing. You rewarded her. Dad got in my face. Watch your tone. That was the moment I realized. It wasn't just about the phone. It wasn't even about the money anymore. It was about the fact that they had chosen a side and it wasn't mine. You're grounded for 2 weeks, Mom said. No phone, no internet, no friends over, and you're going to apologize to her, I asked. Dad just nodded. Right now. Bella stood behind them, hugging herself, smirking. She looked so satisfied, and in that moment something in me broke for good. I didn't apologize, not that day, not ever. I stared them down and said, "No, I'm not sorry, I'd do it again. You'd think I slapped someone." Mom gasped like I cursed at the Pope. Dad grabbed my arm and shoved me toward my room. "Go now and think about what you just said." I slammed the door, shut behind me. Not because I was angry, because I felt done being the good kid, done being the one who always played fair while my sister got away with everything. That night I sat on my bed and just thought about all those years I kept saving, all the times I said no to candy, to games, to going out, because I wanted to build something for myself. And Bella crushed it in a day with their blessing. Something shifted inside me. I stopped caring about being the nice son. If they wanted a problem child, fine. I'd stop playing by their rules. That was the night I decided I wasn't going to let this go. One way or another, they were going to understand what they'd done. The silent treatment started the next morning. I didn't say a word to anyone at breakfast, didn't look at Bella, didn't answer Mom. When she reminded me, I was grounded. I just ate in silence, then went back to my room. They thought they could wait it out, that I'd cool off and eventually apologize, but I didn't. Days passed, then a week. I barely left my room except for meals and school. At home, I moved like a ghost, quiet, cold, distant. Bella kept flashing her fake little pout around our parents, acting like I was the villain, and they ate it up. That's when I realized something even worse than losing the money. I was alone in my own family. They weren't going to make this right. They didn't want to. They liked Bella more, maybe always had. I was just the reliable one, the background kid, who never made noise. So I decided to make noise. If they weren't going to fix it, I would, and I'd start with something they couldn't ignore. I started gathering everything, photos, texts, even the little notebook where I tracked every dollar I saved over the years. I scanned old birthday cards with the cash amounts written inside. I took pictures of my empty lockbox. I found a screenshot from a year ago where Eid messaged Bella saying, "Don't touch my box. It's not yours." Evidence. Proof. I wasn't going to convince my parents. They'd made their choice, but maybe the outside world would see it for what it was. So I did something bold. I posted it all online. A long post. No names, just the story. I explained how I saved since elementary school, how my sister stole everything, and how my parents defended her. I didn't hold back. At first, I figured no one would care, but I was wrong. The post blew up. Hundreds of comments. Then thousands. People were angry at Bella, at my parents, at the unfairness. Some even offered to send me money. I refused. I didn't want handouts. I wanted them to see it, and trust me, they did. It didn't take long before my parents found out. Mom stormed into my room. Phone in hand, her face red with rage. "What the hell is this? Evan, you humiliated our family on the internet." I didn't flinch. "No, you did. I just told the truth." Dad followed right behind, looking like he'd just lost a job. "Do you have any idea how many people have seen this? My co-workers, our neighbors, even your aunt called us." "Good," I said. "Maybe now you'll finally understand what it felt like when no one believed me, when you rewarded her for stealing from me." Bella didn't come into the room. She stayed in the hallway, peeking in. For once, she looked nervous. "You take it down," Mom demanded. "Right now, or we're cutting off your school funds, your college savings." I stared at them, calm as ever. What savings that shut them up? They didn't get it yet, but they would. Because this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. The tension in the house after that post was unbearable. My parents tried to act like everything was fine, but it wasn't. We avoided each other, and Bella started getting weirdly quiet. It was like she knew the truth was out, but she couldn't undo it. Her phone, once the symbol of her victory, now seemed like a curse. I spent the next few days thinking, planning. I knew I had to do something else, something that would make them realize they couldn't sweep this under the rug. They'd always treated me like the responsible one, the one who followed the rules, but I wasn't going to keep playing that part, not anymore. That's when I got an idea. If they wouldn't punish Bella, then I would make her feel the consequences of her actions, the only way I knew how, by taking away her advantage. It was simple. I just had to make her see how fragile her world really was. I waited until they were both out of the house. Then I did something I knew would set them off. I grabbed her iPhone. I stood there holding her phone, staring at it for a long time. The urge to just smash it, to finally make it even, was almost overwhelming, but this time I stopped myself. Instead, I did something else, something that felt almost worse. I took it outside to the garden, where no one could see. Slowly, carefully, I buried it in the dirt, not destroy it, not smash it, just hide it. When my parents got home later, I played it cool. Bella came running in demanding her phone. She was panicked. "Where is it? Where's my phone? I left it here." I stayed silent, watching her face twist with confusion and anger. My mom called out from the kitchen, "Bella, what's wrong?" "She's lying." Bella screamed. "Even took my phone." "I know he did. He's always messing with my stuff." I stood there calm as ever. "I didn't touch your phone." Bella started searching the house like a maniac. She turned everything upside down, her face going red with frustration. I could see the panic setting in. I knew it would only be a matter of time before she realized it was gone. At the bar. It didn't take long before Bella started flipping out. "Where is it, Evan? What did you do with it?" Her voice shook, and I could see tears starting to form in her eyes. Mom and Dad were starting to lose their patience. "What is going on here?" Dad asked, his brow furrowed. "Bella, where's your phone?" "I don't know," she yelled, now genuinely panicked. "It was right here. He must have taken it." I watched her search every inch of the house, every room, under every pillow, in every drawer, but I didn't say a word. I just stood there, letting her do all the work. Mom looked at me. "Evan, what's going on?" I shrugged, playing innocent. "Maybe you should check the garden." Mom gave me a confused look. "The garden? Why would it be there?" I didn't answer. After a tense silence, Bella ran at the door and into the yard, screaming my name. It felt like watching a movie, her frustration, her desperation. It was all so satisfying. But as I stood there, part of me felt a little guilty, a tiny part, because I knew this was just as much about hurting her as it was about getting back at my parents. But I had to do it. I had to make them understand what I had been going through all this time. Bella's screams grew louder as she searched the garden, tearing through the bushes and digging in the dirt like a madwoman. I stood in the doorway, watching the chaos unfold. My parents followed her outside, but I could tell they were starting to lose their patience with her too. Finally, after what seemed like forever, Bella dropped to her knees and started sobbing. "It's gone," she wailed. "It's really gone. What am I gonna do without it?" Dad stepped forward, his voice unsteady. "Bella, calm down. It's just a phone, no." She screamed, looking up at him. "It's my phone. I worked hard to get it. I deserve it." My heart sank. "You didn't work hard for it. Bella, you took what wasn't yours." The words hung in the air, and for a moment it felt like everything paused. My parents didn't say anything. Bella didn't move. She just stared at me, her face a mixture of confusion and anger. Then Dad's voice broke the silence. "Evan, where did you hide it?" I looked at him, my gaze unwavering. "I didn't hide it. I just made her feel the same way I felt." Mom's face twisted with anger. "What do you mean you've been holding a grudge all this time? You're grounded for a month, young man." But I didn't care anymore. I had said what needed to be said. They could punish me all they wanted. The truth was out, and it was finally sinking in. The rest of the day felt like a blur. Mom and Dad argued about what to do with me, whether to increase my punishment or let it go. but I didn't care. My mind was still replaying the moment when I finally said what I'd been holding in for years. You took what wasn't yours. I could feel the weight lifting off my shoulders, but at the same time, I also felt something else, a little emptiness, a little loss. Sure, I'd made my point, but I was starting to realize that nothing would really change. They'd never truly understand. That night I got a text from one of my friends, Marcus. Dude, what's going on with your sister? She's going crazy on social media saying you stole her phone. Are you okay? I laughed bitterly and typed back, yeah, I'm fine. Just trying to survive. I stared at the screen for a moment before deleting the message. I didn't want to talk to anyone right now. The whole world was spinning around me, and I needed some time to think, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something bigger was happening. Bella was losing control. She was unraveling, and I wasn't sure if she even knew it. The next few days were like living in a war zone. Bella barely spoke to me, but she glared at me every chance she got. She'd post about me on social media, saying I was a thief, accusing me of ruining her life. But the posts weren't getting the sympathy she expected. People saw through it. I think that's when she realized how badly she'd miscalculated. She tried to act like everything was fine at home, but it was clear she was unraveling. Even our parents seemed to be losing their patience with her. I saw Dad shake his head in frustration one morning as she screamed about unfairness and betrayal. It was the first time I'd ever seen him look disappointed in her. I couldn't help but feel a little satisfaction. But then a thought hit me. This wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want to destroy her. I wanted her to understand, to finally get it. That night, after she stormed off to her room in tears, I did something I thought I'd never do. I went to her. I knocked on her door quietly, unsure of what I was going to say. For a moment I stood there, listening to the sound of her sniffles from inside. I wasn't sure if I should go in, but the guilt gnawed at me. I wasn't proud of what I'd done, how far I'd gone to make her feel the pain I'd felt. She didn't answer. So I opened the door slightly and stepped inside. She was sitting on her bed, her phone still in her hands, staring at the screen as if it held all the answers. Bella, and I started, my voice softer than I expected. She didn't look up. What do you want? I took a deep breath. I didn't want to hurt you. I just wanted you to understand how it felt. I wanted you to see what it's like when no one believes you, when everyone just takes from you. She finally looked at me, her eyes red, her expression a mix of anger and vulnerability. You don't understand. I earned that phone. I didn't steal it. I shook my head. You didn't earn it, Bella. You took it from me. And it wasn't just money. It was my time, my effort. I was saving for something I thought would matter, and you just took it. There was a long silence between us. My Aduch might nap. She lowered her head, staring at her phone again, but I could see the cracks in her walls starting to form. For a long time, neither of us spoke. It felt like the air in the room was thick with everything we hadn't said over the years. I waited, not sure if she would even say anything back. But then she finally spoke, her voice small and shaky. I didn't think it was a big deal, I thought. I thought you had enough. You always have enough, Ivan. You're always so careful and serious. I just wanted something for myself. I didn't know what to say at first. I had expected her to stay defensive, to keep pretending she hadn't done anything wrong. But hearing her admit it, that was different. I sat down beside her on the bed. You can have things for yourself, but not by taking from me, not by stealing. You don't need to be like me to be good enough. She looked at me, her eyes filled with regret, the harshness between us fading. For the first time in weeks. It felt like we were just two siblings again, not enemies or strangers. I'm sorry, she whispered. I nodded. I know, and I'm sorry for what I did too. And for the first time in ages, we both sat there in silence, not angry, not upset, just two people who had finally understood each other.